All right, we are live and in living color. Guys, welcome to another fantastic episode of This Week in Reselling. My name is Ray, and I am joined by my co host, Dustin.
What's up? I'm here.
And
I
guys,
am here.
I'm Dustin is here, guys. He is here. So, guys, I'm really excited about this week's episode. We have none other than Marcus with Dixon's Pickins
Going on,
on.
guys?
I gotta make sure that I say that correct, Marcus, because it to me is a little bit of a tongue twister because
That's
English
what I
is my
keep
second
hearing, man.
language. Yeah,
Look, dude, it sounded so
Dixon's.
simple to me, right? When I made the name, I was like, it rhymes. It's Dixon's Pickins, but everybody
Yeah,
Yeah.
like throws the actual Ixons in the Pickens, so it sounds weird sometimes. But yeah, it's just Dixon's Pickens, man. Simple.
There you
yeah,
go.
that's awesome. What made you come up with? And again, guys, so Marcus is a full time reseller now. He just
Yeah.
recently transitioned from part time to full time. So that's one of the biggest reasons why I wanted to have you on the show, Marcus, because I wanted to
Right.
pick your brain on that subject. And he's killing it on eBay, guys. If you follow him on Instagram, his metrics are out the roof,
I mean,
astronomical. So
we're getting
if
there.
you had any, I guess I don't know, any worries about you transitioning, I think that you made the right decision
Right. Right.
considering the numbers that I have seen at least. And he's killing it
Right.
on Instagram, guys. He's killing it on TikTok, and he's killing it on YouTube, of course. And you haven't been on YouTube long, right, Marcus?
I've been on YouTube longer than I care to admit. Honestly, I've been on it for like since January. You know what I'm saying? And my channel's just now starting to get out there. To where
hmm
I'm starting to see consistent like results, but it took a
Bro,
long time, dude. Honestly,
January, that's not that. I mean, it's a year.
yeah,
That's not long, dude. And you have like what, 500 subs or something like that?
yeah,
Hanging in
yeah,
a year, in less than a
Dude,
year.
that's good. Don't. That's a lot. There's 500 people that are watching you. Think about that. You put
Mhm.
500 people in a room.
yeah.
That's who's watching you. So,
Right.
guys, again, if you want to follow Marcus on his reselling journey, all of his links are down in the description below. And so, Marcus,
What's
give
up,
us
man?
a little just tell us a little bit about yourself. Give us the origin story on how Marcus became this gigantic reseller. Tell us how you got into reselling. What like scratched that itch? What made you want to get into this crazy world of reselling that all of us here have
Right.
experienced?
Okay. So for me, man, what happened was I was working at a restaurant. I was working at Golden Corral. I was the kitchen manager there, and COVID came along. Just kicked everybody in the nuts, man. And I ended up having to find alternative ways to make cash because my job was like on the fritz at the moment. So I got on Google, how to make money from home. You know what I mean? And popped up sneaker reselling and clothing reselling, just thrifting in general. And I was like, all right, well, I like sneakers, so let me try the sneaker route. You know what I mean? And I started selling hype sneakers, and I did pretty well with it. But the thing was, it was hard to get them in this little tiny town that I live in, and I didn't feel like I was making the best use of my money. First starting out buying a lot of hype sneakers, so I switched over to like lower goods, like thrifted stuff and Amazon bin return store stuff like that, and my profits just start soaring. You know what I mean? I went from like $100 a week to like a couple $100 a week, and then once I started going full time, the 6th of last month, I was able to increase my sales over about $8,000 in the whole month from going full time from part time. So
Wow.
the numbers shot up quickly.
That's awesome. So you just did a quick Google search. You're like, this Golden Corral thing isn't working. I'm
Yep.
just gonna Google how to make money from home, and sneakers
Yep.
reselling is what came up for you.
Yep. Well, that
That's
was one of
awesome.
the options. It looked the most glamorous to me, so I tried it first.
Mhm. Okay.
And
Now,
yeah.
were you into sneakers at all before you
I mean,
took this?
I wouldn't call myself no diehard sneaker fan, but I wore Jordans, Jordan ones, you know what I mean? So I was a sneakerhead, but it wasn't all about it, you know what I mean? Like I was just like, let me try something I like because everybody says if you're gonna resell something, you should sell something you're passionate about. So
hmm
it's like I'm
Mhm.
not passionate about anything at the moment, like not as far as clothing wise, shoe wise, nothing that I felt like I was an expert at. So I just started with that to get my feet wet.
Gotcha. Now, did you dabble in reselling at all before this? Like, did you
Never,
know what
dude.
eBay?
Dude, I come from the streets, man. So like I was grinding, I was a hustler, but in the most wrong of ways ever, you know what I mean? So it was time
Yeah.
for me to put that initiative, that drive, that focus, that, you know what I mean, that hustle that I have in me to produce results. I had to do something good with it. And I realized that reselling is it's a part of the work you put in, the dedication to picking the good items, so you're not just loading your store up with crap. The strategic side of things is a challenge to me. So if you want to maximize your profits, you got to maximize the work you're putting in and versus the items you're putting in. And that way you can get the most return. So it all became like something that I was just like trying to focus on being the best reseller I could be. And I'm still definitely learning everything along the way.
Yeah. So when did you list your first item? Like, how long have you been doing this?
So I listed my first pair of sneakers on, I want to say Facebook, right? Just because it was
Okay.
a lot simpler to start on Facebook. Although I started an eBay account, I was making my sales on Facebook first. So
Hmm.
that's I remember doing my first listing there, thinking it was a lot easier because less item specifics is eBay. And I was like, yeah, let me try this first. Turned out to
Okay.
not be
And
scalable for me to continue with Facebook like that though.
what were some of those hype sneakers you said that you purchased starting off? What was that? What was the first pair of sneakers that you listed on eBay?
It was a pair of Jordan ones. They were like teal, like high top Jordans, OG ones, and I think I said no. I sold my first pair on Mercari. I listed them on Facebook and Mercari, but they sold first on Mercari. And then
Macari.
the second pair I sold was some more Jordan ones. I bought a bunch of Jordan ones like off of StockX at market value already. So I lost on almost every pair immediately because I didn't know what
Oh,
I was doing. You know what I'm saying? But I got the inventory back, and I got my money back on my investment and just reinvested it into smaller dollar items that I could make more off of volume. You know what I mean?
mhm.
That's the way I decided to scale, because doing that over and over again was a hard way to learn. I lost about
Yeah,
$1,500
man.
that way.
So you were paying resale on
Yeah.
sneakers and then reselling the sneakers.
Right.
You
And
put
then like the
resell on it.
occasional neighborhood pickup, like around from the college kids around here that are selling sneakers off Facebook, I go pick those up. But for the most part, I was getting the bulk of my sneakers like off of resale sites already. I was like, this isn't scalable like at all. You know what I mean?
No, no, not at all. What were you making? Maybe like what, 20 or $30, if that?
Yeah. The most was like average at like $40 per pair, but that's like, not every single time. It was about 20, $25 though. And I was like, I could do this. I don't have to spend all this money to just make chump change when I could just go put this money into some $8 Brooks from Goodwill, you know what I mean? And turn around and sell them
Yeah,
for $45, you know? Like,
all
I'm gonna just
day.
go ahead and do that route.
Yep.
That's what a lot of people, that's what I don't understand. A lot of people, and Dustin, you can speak onto this also. They're willing to, like, let's say for example, like you buy a PlayStation 5, right? And like you
Yeah.
buy it for $500 after taxes, it'll come out to, I don't know, let's say like 550. And then it's like resell on it is like, let's say $700. It's
Right.
like you're only making like maybe $100 after
And
fees. And
that
then
happened to
you
me
you put
last
in
year.
$500 to make 100. Like, how does
Yeah.
that make any sense whatsoever?
It doesn't. I
You gotta
mean,
think
if
about
it's an
shipping.
immediate sale, like within the week, and you have multiples of those, then it turns out to be worth it and eventually. But that's not the case with most people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah,
I
well,
know
I'm
I
glad that
sold
you.
one S box Series X, and I made like $200 profit off of it, and I had to drive to Memphis to go pick it up because
Oof.
they didn't have it in store. So I drove from Cape Girardeau, Missouri to Memphis, which is like 4 hours. You know what I mean? Picked it up, and then I mean I thrifted while I was down there, so I at least paid for the trip. But you know what I mean? Like I did all that
Mhm.
just to make $200 profit off of it.
And you gotta add in the gas you probably
Right.
spent.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it wasn't a win in my book. I mean, it wasn't a loss either, but wasn't no grand
It was a
slam.
learning experience for
Right.
sure.
I knew well enough to not do that stuff again.
Yeah.
I got the
Oh,
homeboy Dana Invest. He's killing it doing that though.
that's a lot of work, man.
It
That's a lot of
is.
It
work
is.
for little
A little bit of
results, in my
return.
opinion. I
Right.
know not to rub this in, but one day I walked into Walmart and there was a Series X
Yeah.
just sitting in the shelf, And that's when I called Dustin. I was like,
Nice.
hey, man, you want this?
So yeah, dude.
He's like, you don't have it. You don't have it. It's like, yeah, man, it's sitting here right here. It's like, you want it?
Nice.
I'll buy it for you. Just pay me back.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
You know?
Met him at the
That's what I'm
bank,
talking
within
about.
an hour.
So it worked out for sure. But let's stop and say hi to some people in the chat. Our good friends, Mile High Hustlers is in the building, and our good friend Glenn, the Swamp Picker. He's like OG from day one.
OG.
Candace with Thrift Vix, good to see you. And we have Landshark Picker. Landshark, we need to have you on the podcast because I think you got some good stuff. And we have Shay, the MD Picker. So good to see you guys. And thank you so much for coming on, guys. And make sure, if you're listening to this in the audio version, make sure you subscribe to the podcast, of course. And if you see us on YouTube, subscribe to our YouTube channel. And Dustin, I actually have some exciting news. It's a good thing you came on, Marcus. But no, not yet. That's still in the works. So I'll be telling nobody, Dustin. No, but seriously, we got, one of the things, the podcast, I upload it wherever you can, listen to podcasts, but I got an email specifically from Spotify, and now we are able to upload the video version of the podcast on Spotify. So not only can you listen to it audibly, but you can also see it with your own eyes. So whenever you go to Spotify, you'll be able to see our beautiful faces, right, Dustin?
Let's go.
Let's go. So, guys, again, anybody that might be, what's that?
I said that's a win.
Yeah, that's a win, man. That's a win for sure. So Dixie just came in. She says hello, good to see you. And then Flippy,
what's up, Evan? That's my guy.
That's I am gonna crown that the best name, best reselling name ever. If I've said it once, I'm gonna say it again. So but Marcus, when did you, I know that you were talking about shoes. When did you decide that this wasn't working? And when did you pivot? Like, how did you pivot? How did you know when to pivot? And what did you pivot to? There's a lot of pivoting going on here, Marcus.
So look, this is exactly what happened, man. I met a kid on Instagram. He's actually got a nice sneaker. He's got a nice size sneaker channel right now. His name's Sneak Peek. His name's Andrew. He's from California somewhere. He started a sneaker class and he gave it away for free, but to like 4 people, me and 3 other guys. And he was just pretty much teaching new sneaker resellers, real quick, like 4 or 5 week program on how to get started with it. So the guys that were in the group were already selling thrifted clothing. And they were like, yeah, we do this. We're just trying to branch out and expand our horizons. So we're going to try sneaker reselling. And then so over the time, they kept talking about these sales that they had that they thrifted. And I'm like, all right, man. I'm like, man, let me try this. So I'm out at the thrift store and I'm taking pictures of stuff, sending it to these guys. Like, is this stuff even worth getting? And they're like, yo, bro, this is how you look stuff up on eBay. And they taught me quick tips. And they're like, you really might want to pour some gas on that side of things and see how well it does for you versus flipping sneakers because you live in a smaller town than us. So they told me to give it a try. So I started watching more videos on YouTubers that were thrifting versus sneaker hype resellers with bots and stuff that I didn't have anyway. You know what I mean? And that's when I was able to start like seeing real results.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. That's a good That's awesome. Do you still keep in contact with the gentleman that helped you with I comment on his videos and stuff like that. I should probably message him on Instagram, but he's like a big dude now. Like he's got like over 10,000 YouTube subscribers. So I mean, I'm not saying he's not a humble guy, but I probably should reach out to him though. Just tell him he's changed your life, bro.
Yeah.
It's just or at least the people that they told you, it's like, hey, that suggested that you might want to do this instead of this.
He was definitely one of them. It was his class, and then it was another guy. So like, they gave me the nudge in the right direction.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome. But what are some of the items that you really specifically look for when you go out thrifting?
So right now, currently, the first my go-to is shoes still. You know what I mean?
Shoes.
Just not expensive, super duper, brand new retro J's and stuff. Now, if I can find them, dude, I'm not gonna pass up on them. But it's just literally I can't find them. And then when I get to the sneaker store in the mall, they put a limit on what you can buy. You know what I mean? So like if I would to do it, I'd still spend like $700-800 to make $200 at the end of the day. It's like buying an
Yeah.
Xbox. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not
Right.
worth it.
It's not worth it at all.
Yeah,
But
so I'll go to
Retro
for
days.
the thrift store in my neighborhood. I buy pairs of sneakers for $3 a piece. So that's my go-to right there.
that's
And I
what's
just
up.
fill in the rest with clothing and hard goods.
That's awesome. So, Marcus, we want to get into a lot of people's favorite segment on the show. It's called Overrated, Underrated, where we give you 10 subjects. And you
Okay.
tell us, in your opinion, if they're overrated or underrated, and tell us why. 5 having to be reselling related, 5 not having to be reselling related. So
Okay.
that's the trick. And then before we get into that, Marcus, we do want to give a shout out to the sponsor of the podcast. How are you? What kind of luck do you have, Marcus, with finding and reselling Funko Pops?
None whatsoever.
None. You haven't
Not,
found
not
any
at all.
Funko Pops out in the
I've
wild
sold
or anything
one
like that?
Funko Pop, and I sold it at a yard sale.
Okay. Nice. Well, we want to give a big shout out to the sponsor of the podcast, poppingofftoys.com. I know that the holiday season it's here. It's quickly approaching, but it's here, guys. If you haven't done your Christmas shopping, do so. But one of the things that I absolutely love giving to my friends and family are Funko Pops, because Funko, there's something for everyone, right, Dustin?
Yeah.
There is, absolutely.
I mean, right here we have some Matrix ones, we have some NBA ones, some Ninja Turtle Funko Pops. This is a good site to get those Christmas gifts, guys. And we do have a promo code for you. If you use the code Nashville Flippers, you are going to receive 10% off of your entire order. And the really cool thing about poppingofftoys.com, guys, is they are collectors, and they make sure that Funko Pop is coming mint and pristine to your door. Because, Marcus, when you do find Funkos and you sell them on eBay, the collectors are so meticulous and particular about how the way the box comes. It's awful, to be honest with you. But poppingofftoys.com, they got it down pat. So if you want to purchase any Funko Pops, go to poppingofftoys.com, use the code Nashville Flippers, and you're going to receive 10% off. So, Marcus, are you ready for overrated, underrated?
Yeah, let's go.
All right. I'm trying this new soundboard, so I don't know if you guys can hear this or not. So
I can't hear it.
All right. Did that come through at all? Okay.
It was really, really low.
Okay.
Very
Next
faint.
time. Well, I'll figure it out next time. So, let's see here. Overrated, underrated, Marcus. You want to do the odd numbers, Dustin?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll go with the first one, McDonald's fries.
Definitely. I would say underrated, because I love those things, dude. They're my favorite.
Underrated. Would you say that they're the best fast food fry that you can purchase?
I would say they're the best, but I really like Arby's like curly fries the best.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
That's my favorite. But McDonald's fries are fire though, dude. Like, you can't deny it. It's undeniable.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hey, Arby's just came out with a crinkly fry. I don't know if anybody's heard, but
yeah, I've seen it, but I haven't tried them yet.
Okay. Crinkly fries are pretty nice.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, underrated McDonald's fries by Marcus. Next one up, Marcus, overrated, underrated, Goodwill.
Overrated.
Overrated, he says.
Yeah.
Tell us why, sir.
The one in my neighborhood is, at least, man, the shelves are always bare, dude. Like, there's never anything there. And then what they do have there, they price it like it's like Gucci or Chanel. You know what I mean? Like, you got a pair of mud jeans right here for $15. You know, it's just ridiculous. So I stopped going there because, you know, when you do go there, there's like 50 million vultures by the back door waiting for the new carts to come out. So it's like you got to bow an old lady in the head just to even get something. You know what I mean? Like, so I'll stay out of there.
Sometimes you got to throw them bows to old Shirley, you know?
Yeah, sometimes I go to the Goodwill bins and get clothes by the pound there, though. So, like, it turns out to be worth it.
Is there a thrift store that you would purchase is there one that you have that's way better than Goodwill, or one that, you know, that you would recommend to
the
other
one
people?
I go to daily is like it's top notch. They got
Okay.
a lot of good stuff. They're cheap, they're affordable. Some of the prices are starting to go up, but they're good right now. You know what I mean? They're like my local honey hole.
Nice. Flippy McFlipperson, he's going nuts, and Mile High Hustler is also going nuts about you're getting
$3
$3
sneakers, man.
shoes.
Yeah, dude, I've made so much money off of sneakers out of that store, man. It's crazy. $3
I
a
wish we had.
pair.
Oh my gosh,
I wish
dude,
we
we're
had another
paying
thrift
what,
store.
Dustin?
10
Sometimes,
bucks.
10 bucks.
and that's like on a
Yeah.
decent shoe.
Yeah.
Which is not bad. $10 still isn't bad, but
I mean, yeah, it's still
$3
better than 15 a pair. I
Yeah.
went to Savers
Yeah.
in St. Louis the other day for the first time ever going to Savers, and I bought like 6 pairs of sneakers, all for like $10 up. And I think they were like $11.99 was the cheapest pair. So I'm never in me paying. That's extremely high for me. But
That is high.
one of them was a pair of New Balance 990 V2s that sold like the
Mhm.
day I listed them. I paid $12 for them. I sold them for $65 plus shipping.
Mhm.
So
Oh, that's nice.
I'd pay $12 to make 65 the same day shipping plus
Oh,
shipping.
all day.
So it's all good. I got a couple pair of Nike ACG boots and stuff like that. So it was worth paying up, but I won't do it all the time.
Yeah, it's tough for sure. Now, Mile High Hustler says that he forgot what the website was called for the Funko Pops. But again, guys, the website is called poppingofftoys.com. Use the code Nashville Flippers and you'll get 10% off. And he's also saying that they're looking stuff up at Goodwill.
Yeah.
I think they're doing it at all Goodwills,
Well,
not
they
just
got
some.
eBay stores now,
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
is video game section.
goodwillshop.com, man,
Well, they got
Looking for
that too, but they also sell on eBay. Like they have Goodwill eBay pages. Like, what do you
Interesting.
guys? That's crazy.
Ever since that guy found that game, the game section has been slim.
Yeah.
Slim
Yeah.
pickings.
Yeah, I haven't seen any. We used to kill it on video games at our Goodwill. Now we haven't.
Mhm.
We'll be lucky to
My
get.
Goodwill always sucked. Like at first, like when I first started going there, I struck it big on like 9 pairs of retro Jordans in the box, $40 a piece. But ever since then, when I bought every single one of those out, they haven't had anything good on the shelf like to amount to that at all. I mean, that's pretty hard to top, but still.
Yeah, I just got an offer on some stuff.
Nice.
So next
Sell
one
that
up,
stuff,
Marcus. I know, right? Next one up, overrated, underrated.
Yeah.
You want to grab this one, D?
Yep. Adele.
Oh, definitely underrated, dude. She's the GOAT. She's just on TV tonight singing live.
I know.
With Oprah.
I was just watching it and I was like, dang, dude,
Get
she
out.
is
Yeah,
she is such a good
she's
singer.
killer. Yeah.
She is such a good singer. I mean, oh man. What are your top? Give me your top 3 favorite singers of all time, Marcus. I hate to put you on the spot like that.
I would have to say singers. I don't really listen to that type of music, but I'd probably have to say Adele would be one of them. She's pretty awesome, but it would probably be like also like Hillsong United. Like I like worship music,
Okay.
like singing like that.
Maverick City, Hillsong,
Yeah,
Elevation.
yeah.
All right, let's
Yeah.
go. I need to send you a couple. The church that I go to here in Nashville, we just
Yeah.
released some music not too long ago, so I'll shoot it over to you.
Send me that stuff, dude, for real.
Yeah, same vibe, man. Same vibe for sure. So, all right. So next one up, overrated, underrated, and I know you like doing this a lot. Retail arbitrage.
Man, I would have said I still think it's a little overrated just because the profit margin isn't, unless you're doing Amazon, which I don't currently do. It's a little bit overrated for me because I could go spend the same $600 I spend in one day sourcing stuff at retail arbitrage and spend that all week long at the thrift and be like 1,000 items in. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So it's just different profit margins, man. So like I do it now because I'm trying to find new stuff for Q4. But at the end of the
Yeah.
day, that's not going to be, unless it starts paying off drastically, that's not going to be my business model for like lots of sourcing trips.
Mm-hmm. That's good. Now you mentioned Amazon. Is that something that you would want to get into
Yes,
eventually?
absolutely.
Selling on Amazon?
Yeah.
Okay. I know that you're full time now, Marcus, and Dustin and I were both part time.
Yeah.
And we can't do both. We can barely keep up with what we're doing now.
I got
You
so
know
much
what I
stuff
mean?
to list in that garage. We should
Yeah.
really probably take off
So
like
do
2
you guys
weeks
both
and not
do you
sort
sell on
anything.
Amazon?
No, we don't at all. We just sell
Okay.
strictly on eBay. If we did, that's what I'm saying. Like if we sold on Amazon, I think we would probably both be divorced.
Well,
By
see,
doing, you know,
yeah,
Too
that's
much.
my thing. I don't know when I'm gonna start selling on Amazon because I feel like if I was gonna start selling on Amazon, it would be a mostly selling on Amazon thing, and eBay would kind of take the back seat. I really don't know. It feels like Amazon's an all or nothing type of machine. Like you could dabble
Yeah.
with. I don't know though. I don't know anything about it, but I'd like to get
Well,
into it and start trying it.
Well, the good thing and the bad thing that I've heard on Amazon, and I don't know anybody in the chat that's experienced Amazon sellers.
I'll work on
Yeah,
Amazon.
let us know. Like I know that they gate you in a lot of things at first, so that's probably a
Yeah.
good thing if you're trying to get your feet wet and kind of work out the kinks in there before you start selling
Somebody just offered me $35 on a pair of $70 boots I got. Like, what the heck? Sorry.
Hey, they shot their shot, right? You never know.
It must be from California. Sorry.
My bad, man. I didn't mean to interrupt you, though.
No, you're fine, dude. You can interrupt me as much as you want, dude.
Every low ball offer I get is from like California. Like I don't understand.
They don't show you the information where they're from unless I accept it.
I hate that too.
Mile High Hustler, man, he says if any of us need help on Amazon, he can definitely help out.
They put out a lot of information on their YouTube channel about it.
Okay.
About Amazon.
Knowledge.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, so let's move on to number 5, overrated, underrated.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Turkey on Thanksgiving.
Turkey on Thanksgiving, man, that's definitely underrated. That's my jam, dude.
Turkey.
I love turkey, but that's predominantly like my number one source. Like chicken and turkey, I'm all about it. You know what I mean? Because I don't eat a lot of red meat, so I love turkey. I eat it with my breakfast. I put turkey in my eggs, yo.
There you go.
Are we talking about like slices of turkey, or are we talking about like
slices of turkey? Going out, you chicken breast. Okay, yeah, whatever. Turkey in a million ways, man.
Now I know you said you were the kitchen manager at Golden Corral, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Marcus, completely out of subject here. Give us some tips on how not to make our turkey dry over here, Marcus. When we're cooking that Thanksgiving dinner.
Slow cooking and let it do its thing, man. Like we cooked turkeys in steamers there though. So it's like legit no way you can dry it out in a steam box. You know what I mean? So like that's what we got going for us. But if you're gonna cook it in the oven, just don't dry it out, keep basting it. Fire turkey and don't puncture it more than you need to.
Yeah. Okay. That's good tips. Let us know, guys. Anybody in the comments, give us the recipe for the perfect Thanksgiving turkey.
Yeah.
So we got some people jumping on. We have Adam Exploits says hello, Ray, Dustin, and Marcus. Good to see you, Adam. Larry, way out one. He says hello, Marcus, Ray, and Dustin. Yeah. And Adam says, I may buy some turkey breasts. $7 a pound, though. Yeah, it's getting high.
Everything's getting high, though.
Mm-hmm. Everything's getting high. Yeah.
Yeah.
But all right. So let's move on. Overrated, underrated, Marcus. The Goodwill bins, sir.
Oh man, you can't go in the bins. The bins are underrated, dude. Like that's $1 million gold mine right there. Like for real. You got to put in the work. But there's so much money in the bins, dude, for real. Like if you're selective, but you go daily and you pick 30, 40 good items a week, dude, like you can make several $1,000s like just off of a few Goodwill bins trips. You know what I mean?
What has been your favorite item that you found in the Goodwill bins?
Callaway golf bag. I paid $1.89 for it and sold it for $150 the next day.
Let's go.
Ooh, let's go.
Yeah, it was a great flip.
I know that
was
Dustin
in stupid crispy condition, dude. Like I don't know why it was there at all.
His wife probably got pissed.
Maybe
the person's
or he just wife or so bad.
Yeah,
he just gave up.
He's like, I'm over this. I'm going to the Goodwill.
I hate this sport.
Yeah. What I know, Dustin and I, we've never been to the Goodwill bins. We go to the Amazon bins.
That's totally different, though, dude.
Yeah, so
not the same thing.
we'll get into that for sure because I want to know your tips and tricks on how to be successful in the Goodwill bins. Dustin, we need to go after
need to.
Thanksgiving. I think we need to just go after Black Friday because I'm
absolutely
excited to go look for some vintage gear. Mile High Hustler says for sure those bins do have gold. We recently went to the Nashville flea market, Marcus, and I would say 80% of the clothes that were there, everyone was saying they got from the bins, and some of the stuff, dude, was insane vintage gold.
Yeah,
it was crazy.
You'd be surprised, man.
Yeah, I'm excited to go for sure. Adam says bins depends on the location and how often you visit.
It does.
How often do you
He's
visit the
definitely
bins?
not lying.
Okay. How often do you go to the bins?
Ideally, I would like to go like 3 times a week, but I usually only end up going once a week because it's 2 hours away from me. But when I do go, I fill up like I get a lot of items. So I'll get like 100 items, which lasts me like 2 or 3 days worth of listing. And then I'll go back and I'll get more, or I'll hit the thrift near me. But it's definitely worth the drive though, man. If I could go more often than I do, it would be, I'd make a killing out of there. No question.
Okay. Nice.
Wow.
Larry says, Marcus, are you shopping at the downtown or the country bins?
Both.
Okay.
I go to the downtown one mostly, but sometimes I go to the county. I like the county one. It's a lot neater.
Nice. Adam also says my bins has 99% of the items that don't sell in their retail stores. See, that's the assumption that I have with the bins is the stuff that doesn't get sold in the Goodwill gets put to the bins, or is that completely wrong, Marcus?
It definitely does happen like that. But then there's some stuff that goes directly to the bins. Like, you know what I mean? Like it never even touches a retail store. But you just got to pick through it, man, because you'll find some stuff brand new with tags that still made it all the way through, and that I'll pick up, and then next thing you know, they're selling. Like I don't know, I just look everything up, and if it's got even a half, like 50% chance of selling within 90 days, I'll buy it. You know what I mean? Like I'm not to the point to where I need something to sell immediately, but I love those sales too, though. That's what I go for is the quick sell, but. At the bins, though, man, you'll find something for so cheap. Like it's actually worth, the investment. Like if you're going to pay $1 a piece per item, you might as well get it if you can make $15 off it.
Exactly.
I agree all day. I mean, think about it. You're like 10xing your money. Like who wouldn't want to do that?
It's better than the stock market.
Yeah, right. It's ridiculous. Exactly. People are crazy. Dixie, she's saying that hitting up the bin day on Saturday, Dixie.
Ooh, there you go.
You gotta say hi, girl. We're gonna be there Saturday. We have been killing it at the Amazon.
Yeah, I've been seeing you guys' TikToks.
Oh my gosh, Marcus! Yesterday, Dustin, tell them what you found, Dustin.
The AirPods Max headphones.
Oh, nice! How much are those worth?
Yep, used. They're going for $360.
That's crazy.
So
nice, man.
I had a busy weekend, so I'm gonna list them tomorrow. Monday's usually my list day.
Crispy too. They're so nice.
Yeah,
so nice. So Dixie, we definitely need to meet up for sure, and then go from there. Reselling Daddy, he says, "What's up, guys? Good to see you." And Mile High Hustler, he's saying, "Smash that like button, guys. Smash it up. Bring us up in the YouTube algorithm. It's gonna be great." And Larry Marcus actually says he lives pretty close to the country bins.
Yeah.
And he would like to meet up sometime. So you might want to hit him up. That would be great. Mm-hmm. And then Adam also says he has a question for you, Marcus. He says, do you find any decent shoes at the bins? That's a great question.
So that's a good question, right? So when I first started going to the bins and I was just getting started, I would grab shoes that like were not in the greatest of conditions and like put a lot of work in on them. And I would make some money off of it, but then I learned that I wasn't really making much money after I put all the work in on those shoes like that. So I'm real particular about the shoes that I do get at the bins, and mostly I'll just get boots. Like there's always a pair of Red Wing boots there that is in unbelievable condition that nobody's grabbing them. So I'll grab them like $2 into them and turn around sell them for $100. So that's the type of stuff I look for when it comes to the shoes, because most of them are total garbage. They're not worth picking up.
Okay. That's good. That's because time time is of the essence here. You know,
Right.
you don't want to be cleaning these shoes just to make $5 where you can be
Yeah.
listing other things.
Right.
So that's smart. So Dixie says, for real, we're wanting to go see it all. I'll DM you. Yes, Dixie, DM us for sure. They open up at 8. Get there early, get a ticket.
9 o'clock.
If you know for sure you're coming, I'll grab you a ticket. Let me know how many tickets you need. So, but Marcus, that's
16
awesome that you're
tickets.
consistently finding those Red Wing boots, man, because that's
Those are
balling.
mine.
That's balling
Right.
level, man. I would love to find Red Wing boots at the thrift or at the bins.
Yeah.
At that.
They're definitely good flips.
Yep.
For sure.
BB5 used to do the shoe. Remember the shoe
Oh man.
thing?
Our Amazon bin store used to do like once a month they would have a ton of shoes.
Oh, nice.
And there was this one time we probably found
10 pairs of Birkenstocks. You found a pair of Red Wing
Nice.
boots. I found some New
dude, it was
Balances.
crazy.
All for
Brand new in
$5
the
a piece.
box. Oh,
Yeah, I wish they would do that at my bin store. I would probably keep going.
They stopped. They literally stopped. I was so upset.
yeah.
Yeah,
It
it's
was
probably not
crazy.
sustainable.
No, it's not. I don't even know how they even got all that stuff to begin with.
Right.
But all right, so let's move on. Dustin, number 7, my friend.
Overrated, underrated Drake.
Man, I would definitely say underrated because he's
Drake?
he's very talented, bro. Like for real, like and he's come a long way too, and now everybody tries to be like him. So now he's like a trendsetter. So I give him his props.
Okay. All right. Dustin, what's your favorite Drake song?
Forever comes to mind. I don't
What's
know
that?
why.
Is that the one with LeBron? They did that LeBron?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's why.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about you, Marcus? You look like a Hotline Bling kind of person.
Hotline Bling was my jam, but
It was a
I don't
jam.
really have, like-
I know it was on your ringtone.
I don't really have like a favorite just because he's probably got new stuff that I haven't heard that I really
Mhm.
probably would like, but I like the stuff he does with Future, like
Oh, okay. Yeah. What's that
yeah,
one?
like-
The Jumpman jumped over the Jumpman or Jumpman?
Jumpman.
That was
Jumpman.
yeah.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah,
Jumpman.
Yeah.
Jumped over the jump.
That's a good one right there. All right, so let's move on. Overrated, underrated. Marcus, Facebook Marketplace.
Overrated.
Overrated, he says. Strong overrated. Tell us why.
Well, because man, like at first it seemed like it was a straight dub. You know what I mean? Like I put stuff on it and it would sell pretty fast. But when I got to like selling other stuff like besides hype sneakers, it just was not the way to go. You know what I mean? Like if I'm selling hype sneakers, I got Facebook groups and there's a market for that. So like the sales were popping off, but then I'd start trying to sell clothing on there and it just wouldn't move. So it took a like straight nosedive down. Like sales were absolute nothing. So it just doesn't do much for me now. And so I'll list sneakers on there only, and that's what I'll sell, but it's still not my bread and butter. So I think it's overrated. I don't know how anyone else's experience is going with it right now. I do know they're giving out free shipping right now, so you got that going for you.
Now, when you were selling on Facebook Marketplace, was it more of a meetup situation?
No, I would still do. I did meetups, but it's still the bulk of the sales were, shipping.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Now, like always, I'm always digging through Facebook Marketplace, seeing what kind of deals I could find.
Yeah.
So this might be a reason why you think it's overrated, because this person here is selling something called a Bam Burger for $74. Cade Allen is selling this what looks like a McDonald's McDouble, cheese McDouble, and calling it a Bam Burger. So this might be the reason why you think that Facebook Marketplace is overrated.
That's crazy, man.
On that aspect alone, I'd say it's underrated. I mean, who doesn't want a Bam Burger? Come on.
A Bam Burger.
There you go. All right, so let's move on. Overrated, underrated, number 9, D-Man.
Who, He-Man? Did you say He-Man?
No, NFTs. Underrated, overrated.
I don't know anything about him, dude. Like, I forgot what it even stands for, so I can't really even say. It's probably underrated because I'm not on the bandwagon yet, so I need to get with it.
Okay.
It's hard to find them. or get them. They're
Mhm.
expensive.
Yeah, they're expensive. I know Disney just put out their first round of NFTs, and the prices were insane.
So is it like buying hype sneakers? You're gonna
It's
buy
like
for a lot and not
buying,
make much money?
especially digital trading cards.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
Think about it like that. And
like
but
you
the
own.
good thing, what I've understood, and don't quote me because I'm not a big NFT guy either. But what I understood is that, let's say I create an NFT, right?
right.
Marcus, you purchase the NFT that I created. I get money from that sale,
Yeah.
and you have the NFT that I created, and then down the road that NFT goes up, like the stock market, right? You end up selling it to Dustin,
Yeah.
and you are going to make a profit from the NFT that you sold from Dustin, and I am also going to be making a profit.
So every
from the
time it
NFT.
gets sold, you get some of it. Nice.
Exactly. So let's say that Dustin ends up selling it to Adam, and you, Marcus,
Yeah.
what are still going to be making a profit off the NFT. So
Yeah,
that's
I
it
gotta do
sounds
some looking
weird.
into that.
Yeah, it's kind of like it almost sounds like a kind of like a pyramid scheme, to be
A
honest
little
with
bit.
you. You know?
I know.
Yeah.
I think
So-
like some sports ones. If I'm not,
Yeah.
I might be wrong on this, but you can buy some like Tiger Woods. Say
Oh,
like
yeah.
there's a Masters clip, like from when he won it back in whatever a couple years ago. You own rights to that clip once you have that NFT. That's your clip in your
Yeah.
collection. So
Gotcha.
it's weird. Yep.
It's
Pretty
weird. I
neat.
know that recently the WWE just really sold some NFTs. One of them was when the Undertaker threw Mick Foley off the top of the Hell in the Cell. Famous
Oh, yeah.
clip. I don't know if you've seen it or not. So
I
whoever
haven't
bought
watched
that,
wrestling in so long.
dude, I'm a wrestling fiend, bro. So yeah,
next
I love
summer-
me some
next
pro
summer.
wrestling.
It's happening.
This summer, SummerSlam's coming to Nashville, so we're
Yep.
definitely going to go
Nice.
there.
Better start
Adam
selling.
says Gary V is finally into them. He wasn't
He
wasn't
It
for a
wasn't.
long time. Okay, so that might bump up the price for sure. It sounds like an MLM. LOL. Yeah, it's crazy. I got to do some more research. Maybe we'll put out some NFTs of our own, and then
Hey.
get into the crypto, right, Dustin?
The
Flip coin
cryptos.
coming soon. I'm already going to patent pending it, so you never know. So if you want to invest, hit your boy up.
Nice.
So last one for overrated, underrated, Marcus. Selling shoes.
Oh, definitely underrated, man. There's so much money to be made in selling sneakers. Like, I promise you, man, like if you guys, and this is what I find to be the problem, is I can't find enough pairs to make it my only source of income. But if I could only source sneakers, I would, because your average sales price is about $35 average. You know what I mean? So like if you're going out and you're finding pairs that are going to be like $75, $100, and then you find pairs that are just going to be like $15, $20, but you get all of these all the time, it's going to be, an average about $35 sell. I find that to be worth me going out and putting the time in for it, versus going to get a shirt that I can only probably sell for $10, $15, So I try, but that's just what I try to go for. I just don't find enough to make that my only source of sourcing. I love selling sneakers. I know a lot of people are making full-time livings off of just selling sneakers.
Yeah. What are some of the sneakers that you look at? Like, what are some of the ones that really bring you the most?
So-
I wouldn't say the most money, but the most consistent money, selling consistently for you.
I would say like trainers, like running shoes, things like that. People are always buying some type of running sneaker. I don't know why. It's just the way people are dressing right now. Like either you're dressing like you're going to the gym or you just came from the gym, even if you don't go to the gym. So people are buying those. And then next, I would say I sell a lot of casual like Jordans, like Air Force Ones, like sneakers, like that. That would be like the second best category that sells for me.
Okay. So running sneakers.
Yeah,
and
like
casual
athletic sneakers. And then then
athletic.
the casuals.
Nice. Okay. What brands of those running sneakers do you think sell the best for you?
It's Nike and Adidas are the best of everything. Like
Okay.
they sell more consistent than anything for me. Then
Okay.
next would follow up would be like New Balance. they sell frequently as well. Like they're gonna sell regardless too. Not regardless, but you'll get rid of your New Balances. They're not sellable, but definitely Nike and Adidas. Then like On Clouds and like Brooks. Like Brooks used to sell more better than they do now. But like On Clouds and things like that, they'll sell ridiculously well too.
Such a weird shoe. It's like someone
That's
took
what
a
I
hose
run
and
in is
cut
On
it.
Clouds.
Yep.
You wear On Clouds?
Yeah. I
You
wear
like
that
them?
when I run on the treadmill, yeah. I
Okay.
love it. Yeah, they feel like walking on clouds. But see, like the thing was, is I was trying to run in like low top or flat high top Jordans on the treadmill.
Oh,
That's just it sounds painful. You know what I mean?
bro.
So it wasn't working. So I had to go buy me some actual running sneakers,
Yeah.
and they were worth it. I spent like $160 on them, so I'm gonna get my $160 out of them.
There
You
you
got
go.
that right.
Yeah.
Got that right.
I
Dude,
hope
you
this
were
was
running
relevant
in
too.
like Jordan 1s on the treadmill?
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah.
You didn't get
I
hurt?
mean, I got pairs that I cut the grass in. Like at the end of the day,
Well,
I wear my sneakers. You know what I mean? Like I
yeah.
love sneakers, dude. But I'm not gonna buy them to just keep them in a shelf. I don't got that many pairs yet. But if it was ever to get to it, and now I'm currently selling my sneaker collection. So if I ever get more
What's
to where like I got enough, then
yeah.
I'll slap some in the cases and never wear them. But
Mhm.
not right now.
Well, here's the bad thing about like you see all these sneakers that I have here. These are
Yeah.
old sneakers that I had in my parents' house
Yeah.
that they were just sitting there. If you don't wear your sneakers, they are going to fall apart over
Yeah.
time. So
Yeah.
it's like you almost have to wear them at least, I don't know, like 3 times a year for them not to they are literally falling apart because they're like dry rot and just
Yep.
like the glue separates. It's terrible.
And then it's messed up because, like, if you don't do like the bend test when you buy some shoes or something like that, and you don't know that they're falling apart, I've done that before. Had to do returns on Nike vintage ACG boots. That as soon as they start walking in, the soles crumbled off of them. I had to do a
Yeah.
refund. That sucks.
It's
Do
crazy.
the bend test.
Yeah, do the bend test, guys. So
Bend test.
Dixie also she's saying don't forget about kids Nike Airs
Yeah,
and Air
definitely.
Jordans sell
Yeah.
like crazy. Which
I sell
to
more
me,
women's shoes than anything, but I do sell kids shoes frequently.
okay. Interesting. Okay, that's good. Kids shoes or women's shoes. Okay.
Women's shoes.
I never
yeah.
look at the women's
Just-
shoes.
I find just as many women pairs as I do men's pairs, but I only buy like 7 is like pushing it, like as low as the size that I'll go because I
Mhm.
usually buy 7.5 up to about like a 12. Usually not even a
Dang.
12, probably an 11 is the biggest I'll go to the women's size because everything else is gonna move real slow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like women is like
It's a big girl.
7.5 through probably 9 is probably prime real estate for selling sneakers to women.
Do you ever sell any really big men's sneakers? The reason why I ask
Yeah.
is our friend Dustin over here.
Yeah.
What size shoe do you wear, Dustin?
Size 15.
15.
I've sold a
This
couple
man
pair
wears
of
a
15s.
15.
There you go.
Yeah.
So it's like
I
Dustin
was
has a
actually-
hard time finding shoes.
You
Okay.
got to get online, don't you?
Yep.
Yeah.
Mostly.
So I went to Savers. They had 2 pairs of one was Air Max 95 and the other one was Air Max 270s, I think. But it was Air Max 1s and then Air Max 95s. And they were both size 14 and a half. I mean, they weren't 15, but they were huge as hell.
Those might have fit me.
Those
Yeah.
things were big.
Do we have a Savers here? Apparently, we need to check that out.
No, there's one the closest one we have, I think, is in Bowling Green. Yeah.
Well, this is the
Might
first
make a
time I'd
trip.
ever been to one. Like I said, I'm not paying that much for sneakers, but I was glad that one of them sold already.
Yeah, that's crazy. Pro tip, Adam says, pro tip, always do the bend test and check for wear. Don't forget to look for the wear on the
Yeah,
inside.
especially on the back of the heel tab.
Nice. Oh, hey, Dustin, Adam's got you beat, dude. He wears
16,
a size
4E.
16. What's a 4E?
That's extra wide.
Oh, snap.
Yeah.
Adam, that's
Got
big,
feet.
Adam. That's crazy. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
The sneakers I just sold were a 4E.
Dang.
Yeah.
So they're just making for really wide feet.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, I didn't know that. I know the W, of course, but the E.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. So that concludes the segment of the show, over and underrated. Thank you so much, Marcus, for answering those
problem.
questions. And guys, like always, make sure you hit the subscribe on the subscribe to the podcast, of course. Leave a 5-star review so it bumps us up in the podcast algorithm. And this is your favorite podcast that you're currently listening to. So you're gonna love it. So Marcus, I know you recently transitioned from part-time to full-time. I want to know how that whole journey went, man. Because what made you finally quit your full-time job, quote unquote, and then transition into doing this full-time?
So for me, it was both jobs were part-time. The real job was part-time, and I was only making like $10 an hour. I'd work 4 hours a day, 3 times a week. So I'd work 12 hours. So I would do that 6 days for 2 weeks. My check was probably only about $250 at the end of a 2-week pay period. So that's no money at all, first of all. And then I'm doing eBay part-time, and I'm making a couple thousand a month, just gross sales like $2,000-$3,000, sometimes $4,000 in a month. So I'm taking away about $2,000 from part-time eBay. So it's not making sense for me to keep on doing this job over here 3 days a week that I'm only making $250 every 2 weeks with. Well, then they slowly start putting me down to like 1 day a week. And then so at the end there, I was getting $80 every 2 weeks. And I was like, what am I doing, man? Like, why am I still holding on to this job? Like, let me just go ahead and go full time with it and just pour gas on eBay and see how it goes for me.
Man, I couldn't imagine just getting $80 for that.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, that must have been a no-brainer then.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was the real question was, why did I wait so long? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. And now what about, I'm sure you have friends, you have family, what was that conversation like? Hey, this is what I'm going to do from now on. They're probably like, well, Marcus, why don't you go down the road, get another job at a kitchen manager at Applebee's or Chili's?
I think
did they try to convince you to do something different, or?
No, nobody tried to convince me to do anything different, just because from the inception of it all, everybody's seen that I was making cash doing it. You know what I mean? So they as I grew and was, making more substantial money off of it, they were seeing the growth themselves and getting curious to do it for themselves too. I mean, so it was more motivation than anything for people seeing me do it. And then for me to start out at part-time and then now that's my only source of income, people they're pretty impressed with it. You know what I mean? They're at least very curious to where they want to know how I did it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. So it was, what I guess that goes with everybody, the people that are doing it part-time, doing it full-time. Once the people see the results, the results speak for themselves.
Right. Numbers don't lie.
The numbers do not lie, of course, which people to this day, Dustin and we tell, people, hey, you need to come to this Amazon bin store because we're finding stuff that is worth hundreds of dollars. We're paying $5 to $7 for. Like, yeah, man, let's do it. I want to do it. I want to go. Da 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 da. This, that, and the third, and they never come. They never
I
want
don't
to do
understand.
it.
Like, I mean, don't get me wrong.
It's mind-boggling to me.
It's crazy money to be made in there, man. Like, I don't understand why people, if they're like, I stopped going to the bin store because I was getting a lot of returns. And now, like, it's getting to the point to where I might have to go back there, at least on, restock day and see how it goes. They just every day it's like or every week it was like their quality of stuff was going down. So I just stopped going to my bin store. So you guys are killing it at yours, though. That's for sure.
It's a lot of competition now. I know that where we're going to now, their provider or the person that they're buying the stuff from, he's getting good stuff. So as long as this is coming through, Dustin and I are sitting pretty,
Right.
We're going.
So well, thank you for answering that question, Marcus. Was there just internally for yourself, did you have any worry or concern about your direction that you were going to? And it's like, okay, this is what I'm doing now. Like, did you have like a game plan? Like, how did that like what
I'm
was
not gonna
the
say that I
thought
was.
process?
I'm not gonna say that I wasn't worried. You know what I mean? Because I mean, of course, everybody has a natural curiosity of whether they're going to succeed at something. But I knew that I was going to be determined and driven, enough to make it work. Because this is what I chose to do. Like I didn't just sign up for just going to some other person's job and just be a mediocre employee. Like I decided to take my future into my own hands. So like you got to put the work in. So like I was fairly confident that my grind was going to pay off. You know,
For sure.
I was more anxious, to get the results pouring in. So I
Okay.
just went hard.
Nice, nice. And of course, just like anything else, you take out what you put in, so
Yep.
for sure. It's like, hey, I'm gonna work hard, and these are
Yep.
gonna be my results. And like you said before, the numbers speak for themselves.
Exactly.
So Marcus, we have another segment on the show. We're calling it Dixon's Tips. So we're
Okay.
gonna give you I'm going to give you some subjects, and you're going to give us just a short answers of what some good tips that can help us
Okay.
with those things. So first one up, being successful at the Goodwill bins. What are some good tips?
Good tips are if you're gonna start in a bin, look through it, you know what I mean, and try to find the good gems that are in there. Don't just skim over the top of it because you'll miss something. I see kids all the time just grab like handfuls of clothes and then like throw it and look underneath it for like one or two items and then they walk away. And I'm like, you call that looking through a bin? You know what I mean? And then I'll find like 6 pairs of Levi's in that one bin alone. You know what I mean? So you gotta be selective, but actually be thorough in a bin before walking away from it because you never know what you're gonna leave behind.
Nice. Good tip. Next one up, Marcus, telling your family you're going full-time in reselling.
Just tell them, like this is what it is. This is why I feel like I should be able to succeed at it. This is why I'm prepared to do this full time. If you have your reasons why all in line, then they should have total faith in what you're doing. You know what I mean? Like you're not going to just quit your job to make $100 a week reselling. You're not going to do that. That's not smart. You know what I mean? But if you're making $1,000 in a week, consistently, I think you need to consider doing that, but making that your only passion, your only focus, your only job, and you could turn that 1,000 a week into 4,000 a week. You just figure out how to do it, man, and make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice. That's nice. Next one up, Marcus. Dixon's tips. Learning from your mistakes.
Definitely pay attention to what you're doing, guys, because there's some mistakes you'll continuously make, like shipping the wrong item out or like not being able to find something in your SKU if you're not careful enough. So just pay attention to what you're doing. Make sure you're packing the right item. Make sure you're putting the right label on the right package. Things like that, because wasted time in an item doing a return or an item not as described claim against your account is not really worth it. So just start being meticulous about certain things from the beginning instead of
Nice.
continue to learn a year into it like I am.
Nice. Hey, Dustin and I have been doing this part-time for 4 years, and we're learning. And that's one of the reasons why we wanted to start the podcast is
right.
like
That's
you.
why they're valuable.
Exactly. It's like learning from other people that may not know the same thing that we, coming from different walks of life or whatever.
Right.
That's what I enjoy about your show, because you do the same thing.
Yep.
So last one up, Marcus. Dixon's tips. Retail arbitrage.
Just be consistent with that, because if you're going to do retail arbitrage, you're going to hit a clearance section that's going to be dry. There's not going to be anything there, but you don't want to let that set the pace for future trips. You know what I mean? Because you could give up on something before ever striking gold. You know what I mean? Consistency pays off with anything you do. So just be consistent and don't get bummed out when you don't find anything. And when you do find something, buy the whole shelf.
Nice. Got that right. All right. So that was Dixon's tips. So we're moving on. Marcus, tell us what your biggest flip was and what your biggest flop was. And that could be just something that you purchased that was, you thought it was something, and then you shipped it out, it broke, or the shipping was too much, or just something, something
Yeah.
you completely just made a mistake on?
So I would say that my biggest sell would have been either a pair of Kobe Grinches. I
Oh
sold them for
man.
like $600, or either this pair of Yeezy 350 V2 brands that just came out in 2021. I sold those for about the same amount, but the only thing was I had a high cost of goods. It was like uh 250 for one, and then the other pair was like $300. So I made good return on it, but it was a high investment. And then
Mhm.
probably like one of my biggest flops would have been I bought like some shoes in bulk. I made my money back, but I'm still sitting on like 10 pairs of these, like 5 to 10 pairs of these shoes I gave away. So I only sold like 7 of them, but I got them from Drew from Profit Monsters, and like he knows that I'm well into the profits on it, but half of the shoes I'm still trying to sell to this day because first come first serve, everybody picked the good boxes. I picked the second to last box, so it wasn't a lot
Mm.
of movable merch in there, but I still made profit off of it. So that would
Okay.
probably be my biggest flop.
So you wouldn't do that again though, right?
I would do that again.
You
I would
would?
do that. I would shop with Drew again because he's an excellent businessman. Because 2 of the pairs that I got, one was like 2 left shoes, and the other one had sole separation. And he gave me 2 brand new pairs of shoes that weren't even included in that bundle. You know what I mean? Just here you go. Here's 2 brand new pairs. Don't even worry about sending me the other ones back. And then the other pair was a brand new pair of New Balance running shoes with the box, and the other one was a pair of Nike Airs. So like it definitely was a win. That's what did me so well on the whole bundle. So I would do it again. I would just
Nice.
be if I could pick a better looking box, I would.
Okay. Nice. All right. So we're getting down to the nitty gritty here,
Yeah.
Marcus, and I appreciate your time, and I appreciate everyone that's jumped on the live stream with us here on YouTube. So the last 2 questions that we have for you, Marcus, is that of course you've been reselling now for a year, right?
Yeah.
So, for someone that has been doing this for a year, give us some tips for a new reseller that may just got started reselling, and give us some tips for someone that a seasoned reseller to just something that maybe you've seen that they make mistakes that they can avoid. Just give us some tips for a new reseller and a seasoned reseller.
Okay. So my tip for new resellers would be to do research, like look everything up, especially when you're getting started, because you want to start building things in your memory that you know are going to be worth selling without having to look them up on a continual basis. Like eventually you want to be able to walk into the thrift store and just grab this, and that, and know that it should be able to net you about this amount of money without having to look up, because you spend a lot of time looking things up after a while, and that's time that you could spend on like either niching down on a category to where you don't have to grab every single thing that you see. You could just grab things that you know are going to be consistent money. The tip for seasoned resellers, I guess, they already know, most of the stuff. I mean, I guess I can't really teach a new or old reseller anything. Probably just look everything up still, man. Make sure that what you're picking up, the market hasn't changed on it, because you could have been selling this item for $100 last year, and then now this year it's selling for 50. So
Yeah,
just stay doing research, man.
that's good. That's good. Research on both ends, right?
Yep.
The market
New
doesn't
and
lie.
yeah. Yeah, man, that's great. So, Marcus, one of the things that I enjoy about what you put out on TikTok, on YouTube, is I
Mhm.
feel like you're very goal oriented.
Yeah.
You show your numbers, you're showing the proof in the pudding, as people may say. But this year coming up, I know we're getting down. It's the end of the year.
Mhm.
What are some of the goals that Dixon Pickens has?
Well, by the end of the year, I'm trying to hit 30K for the 90-day total.
Okay,
Uh, but really, man, I don't have I don't have too much more higher of goals for the end of this year. But for next year, trying to scale as high as I can, man. I'm really trying to. I don't want to break the machine, but I want to push it to the limits and see how far I can take it as a one-man show. You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
really try and find out what's gonna break the machine so that I can make it even stronger. You know what I mean? Because
Oh,
I'm trying to grow and like do this for real. You know?
yeah. So have you thought about like what that looks like? Are you looking into maybe hiring a helper or a virtual
Uh,
assistant or
at first, if I'm a hire anybody, it's probably going to be someone to do more sourcing for me. If I have a
sourcing
sourcer,
for you?
and then all I can do is just like list the items. You know, that would save me a lot of
Interesting.
time. Because I don't really want to pay like Hammock or somebody, to do the listing for me and then have to go in there and change things anyway because they did it wrong. So
Okay.
I would just do the listing myself, maybe try to like speed up the process enough to be able to teach somebody how to do it properly. But for now, I've only been doing it for a year, so I just need somebody to source additionally on top of what I can. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Because
That's
I can't
interesting you
get
say
enough.
that because usually it's the other way around to where you're teaching your assistant to list while you're the one going out looking for items. Because
Yeah.
it's usually the fun part.
See, but I'm not opposed to still going out and getting items myself, though. You know what I mean? So, like,
Yeah.
I just want them to grab more stuff for me along with what I'm already grabbing. You know what I mean? So that way I could just focus on getting the stuff listed because I'm fairly fast at listing. You know what I mean? But I
Yeah.
can't spend enough time out finding stuff because I run out of stuff to find, at the end of the day. You know what I mean? I can only go to so many thrift stores, you know?
Got that right. Yeah. Well, that's great, man. And I know that you're gonna reach those goals for sure. You're gonna break the machine so you rebuild it again. It's
Yeah.
like working out, you gotta
Yep.
Yep.
push those muscles to
Yep.
failure and build them up bigger, faster,
Bigger and
stronger.
stronger. Yep.
That's right. Hey, that's a shirt right there, right? Dixon Pickens. See, I still can't say it. Bigger, faster, stronger. You know.
Let's go.
Yeah, man.
So thank you so much, Marcus, for coming on. I really do appreciate it. This has been a lot of fun. It went by really quickly, and
Yeah.
I appreciate everyone in the chat. Any last words that you may want to give to the people in the chat, the people that are watching, the people that are listening, that just some words of advice or just some words
Yeah,
of
man.
wisdom.
Definitely. First of all, for anybody that's not a reseller that's watching this content, man, give it a try. I definitely recommend everybody at least tries it because you never know how successful you're going to be. And I hear people all the time talking about, oh man, I'm not making any money at work or my job sucks. And I'm trying to tell them how lovely this stuff really is, but they don't. I guess and then you show them the numbers and they're like, oh, dang, you made a lot of money, man. Like, you can do it too. And they're just like, oh, I just don't want to put all that work in, like,
Yep.
all right, well, you're going to work for somebody, you might as well do something that's going to make. Why wouldn't you want to work hard to be able to make good money? I just don't understand that, like, having no work ethic, is not a good thing to be being a reseller. But that's probably about the only thing I'd have to say, man. If you're out there and you're not a reseller, give it a try. If you are a reseller and you're out there, keep crushing it because you guys inspire me too. Like, I'm definitely like, I feed off the whole reseller community and learning as much as I can and seeing other people thrive, man.
Got that right. That's great, man. Hey, Larry has a question for you before we get out of here. He says, Marcus, do you not have a death pile? Question mark.
No, I don't, man. Like, I'll go out and I'll pick and then I'll list like everything that I get that day because if it's not listed, it's not making me money. You know what I mean? So like
That's
I list 13 a day and then I'll draft, whatever I have left. So usually I'm trying to put up 13 items a day. So I can't source 13 items every single day when I go out. So like I'll go out and I'll get as many as I can on one day. The next day I might not find nothing but 5 items, you know what I mean? So I try to keep a draft bank going. I don't have a death pile because of that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, there you have it, guys. Dixon Pickens, Marcus, team, no death pile. The
Yeah.
CEO, you heard it first. List your stuff. So, Marcus, thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah,
I
man, for
really do
sure.
appreciate it. Thank you, everyone, for stopping by. Again, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube, follow us on all of our social media platforms, and subscribe to the podcast, leave a 5-star review, and make sure you subscribe to everything that Dixon Pickens got going on. Is
Everything.
Dixonspickins on everything, Marcus?
Yeah, yep.
Okay. We got
Instagram,
all your info
YouTube,
down
and
into
TikTok.
perfect. Which one of the social media platforms do you prefer over all of them?
So
Just curious.
honestly, I started out with Instagram and then I started out with YouTube at the same time because why not, right? So
Yeah,
I like YouTube and I've got long-term goals for YouTube, but TikTok's growing the fastest. I've been on TikTok like 2 months and I've already got like 1,100 followers. You know what I
that's
mean?
awesome.
And I'm not really putting a serious effort into it. You know what I mean? I can only imagine if I was like making 10 TikToks a day, like what I would blow up probably. But
Well,
there's a
you can
lot of
do it,
extra work.
man. Think about it. You'll be monetized on TikTok, YouTube, and making a living doing,
Yeah.
doing reselling full time.
I feel like TikTok I'll probably get monetized on there fairly quick if
Mhm.
I'd actually like focus on it. So maybe I should. But I'm just trying to
Never hurts, man.
I'm trying to grow my YouTube first, man. Like that's my bread and butter right there. Like I love it.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. Well, thank you so much for coming on, dude.
Yep.
Really do appreciate it. So, my name is Ray.
All right, man.
My name is Dustin.
My name's Marcus.
Hey, there you go. He got it. He got it, baby. So, catch you on the flip side. See y'all. God bless.
Peace.
Peace.
Get your car hearts on.
Get your car hose on. It's getting cold.